So North South Arapaho is 2 13ers in Indian Peaks Wilderness Area. North Arapaho is actually the high point of Indian Peaks Wilderness Area, around 13.4. And the real fun of the route, again, isn't necessarily the peaks in and of themselves, but the traverse between the two. That's kind of the whole point of the hike, is to accomplish the traverse.
It's a bit chilly, but I thought it would be super fun. You know, we were looking at it, it looked like it shouldn't have too much snow or anything like that, so we, you know, just decided to kind of go for it at the beginning of October. Seems like every time I'm coming up the mountains now, I'm bringing the clouds. We made it to our campsite at 4th of July trailhead. There's some clouds going on up there. We'll see how it's looking in the morning. But yeah, time to get camp set up and get ready for the morning. Blue sky. Well, tent's all set up. It's about 7. Planning on getting up at about 5. So I don't know if we're just gonna hang out or what we're gonna do for the next few hours. I don't know, we'll see. But everything's all set up and kind of ready to go. Hopefully we have a clear morning. Hung out for a bit, ended up going back to Nederland and got a beer because it was cold. Didn't take any footage of that. You know, I just kind of hung out and said we wanted to get up pretty early. I actually was surprisingly warm in my tent with my, you know, sleeping bag, my, 10-degree sleeping bag and all that.
We got up and we got started about 5:40 or so.
A lot of sleep too. I mean, I was solidly asleep from like 10:30 to like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like solid sleep. So.
You know, we got about to tree line right as the sun was coming up, and it was beautiful. Phenomenal, so good.
Getting up into the basin, we sort of got up into the basin when it was still pretty dark, and it was really cool to kind of start to watch all the features and the surrounding peaks just kind of start to become visible and blue, and you know, the first alpenglow hits the mountains.
And it's a little bit after 6 now. We're a mile and a bit in. It's cold but beautiful up here. We've made it to the cutoff for the Arapahoe Glacier, so heading up that way, but this is super nice up here. Feeling pretty good. Weather's perfect. The light is looking beautiful on the mountains back here. Nice. And next we've got this to head up. Which will be a slog, but we'll do it. That's when you start the real, you know, uphill switchbacks up the kind of face of South Arapaho Peak. It's kind of more like an easier 14er. Still definitely not easy, but not, you know, basically just class 1 trail the whole way up.
One of the prettiest, I did not know that there was like a place that pretty that close to Boulder. So it was just a really awesome sunrise, incredibly gorgeous.
Just getting our sunrise. Wow. So pretty. Incredible. There's the sun. Still a bit of elevation gain left to go, but whew, nice. So we are almost to South Arapaho Peak. Still quite a bit of elevation gain, but we're getting there. I think we can see North Arapahoe Peak over there. First kind of views of it. Nice.
I think psychologically you have this thing in your mind where you're like, this isn't a 14er, this is a 13er. So you think it's going to be much, much easier in some way. But it's still a 13,200 foot mountain, so it's still really, really difficult. And I think it was kicking our butts because we were both maybe a little out of shape at the time.
Oh, this is rough. I'm tired. We're almost there, but this is pretty steep, pretty rough. Even though it's 800 feet short of a 14er, it's still very difficult. I'm feeling it. We're almost there. And there's the summit of South Arapahoe Peak, 13,200-ish, whatever. Take a little break here and then do the traverse over to North Arapahoe Peak. Weather's still perfect, phenomenal. Whew, but definitely need the break. We kind of hung out on there, took some photos, took some video.
If we had just made it that far, it would have been a worthwhile hike because it was just beautiful sunrise and insanely gorgeous.
And then, we decided to head over on the traverse. Traverse is about a half mile there, half mile back, and it definitely ended up being harder than we thought it would be. All right, we had a bit of a break on the summit. It's about 9, a little bit after 9, so we're gonna head on over to the traverse, see how it goes. All right, let's get after it. That looks really exposed.
Try it.
Okay, we're almost to the class 4 part, so it's probably about time to get the helmet on. Maybe the spikes. We got a decent amount of snow. It's pretty hard though.
That guy on the video couldn't reach it. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to.
Same.
Yeah. That's it.
Harder move.
And then we got to the class 4 move, which was completely free of snow and ice. And so once we got up over that, we kind of thought we were in the clear. We're like, this is it, cool. That was the hardest part. Let's keep going.
See, this is where GoPros make things look way sharper than they are.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't know. I see that cliff.
Do you stay high? Do you go low? You know, you have to skirt around here. I think at one point Josiah kind of went over to the left when we should have gone up. And I'm sure there's a point where we went up where we should have gone around to the left. And just, you know, making all those decisions, it ended up taking a lot longer than we thought.
All right, well, we're making slow progress here, but we're making progress. There's a lot more snow on here than we thought, so it's means we need to step carefully. Tired, but we're making it. The summit's not too far behind me, but yeah, we're getting there. Alright, well, we're kind of cliffed out a little bit here, I think at the same place that one of the guys in one of the YouTube videos we watched. I'll put the description down. But we'll see, you know, what we can do if we can get around, but it's pretty snowy over on the dark side.
And I had seen on YouTube a few days prior that there is one section where you can really find and get yourself cliffed out, and lo and behold, we found ourselves in that section. We had made a wrong turn at some point. We didn't descend far enough down to the west side of the ridge like we should have, and found ourselves completely cliffed out and backtracking And with the snow and the ice, I think what normally would have been super reasonable in the summer was unreasonable at, you know, early October with the conditions.
You know, Josiah kind of saw the cliff where we were. I was a little bit behind him, and you know, we were kind of talking a little bit over. There was definitely a lot more snow than I think we both expected. You know, Josiah was kind of, you know, saying we should go on a little bit farther. I was definitely not feeling it. The snow was feeling really sketchy for me at that point.
We kind of went back and forth a little bit on it, and then ultimately just decided to call it a day because we have lives outside of climbing mountains and we can always come back and it's super close.
We decided that the kind of snow traverse down there is untenable, so we are gonna head back. Maybe next time north Arapahoe Peak, but I got no problems not summiting. This is a great traverse. It was super fun, super, you know, good class 3/4. Maybe next time without the snow, do it a bit earlier.
Just a little too sketchy. And I live in Boulder. I'm an hour from the trailhead, so I'm like, live to climb another day and play it safe. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna head back. We got South Arapaho. Not a total waste of a day or anything, but
And it was a good traverse experience.
very good traverse experience. And yeah, and we got to be in the mountains.
That's back to the summit of South Arapahoe Peak. Whew, I am tired. All downhill from here though.
Thanks for turning around.
You always have to defer to the person who is the least comfortable. And I tried pushing you, I tried saying, hey, I think we can do this, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay. When you're with someone, you're part of a team, and you have to consider the other person and just make appropriate decisions based on people's comfort levels. So I think it's a good choice, and I think it would have been pushing it. So plus we get lunch early, so
Yay!
Oh man, we are back at the trees and off of the steep stuff. That is very exciting. Oh man. Feeling tired, but glad to be back in the trees. Okay. Well, we are back at camp. Thank goodness. Definitely disappointing that we didn't make it all the way to North Arapaho, but I think it was a good decision to head back when we did. If we had an ice axe, it would have definitely been a different story, but I know it would have been a different trip. But I'm still, happy with that. It was a great adventure, and maybe we'll come back and do it again sometime. But now it's time to get packed up and head on out.
But, it's always interesting. I know Josiah definitely didn't want to turn around at that point. So we were, a little bit at odds there. Me wanting to kind of, turn around, feeling a bit sketched out by, the conditions that we weren't necessarily expecting. Maybe if we'd had an ice axe, actual bigger, either crampons or better micro spikes, in my case, I would have definitely felt better about it. I think especially the ice axe, I think I would have been okay if it had that. But, early October, there hadn't really been much snow. You don't really expect that, so you just kind of go from there.
I guess in short, it's frustrating and you want to keep going, but sometimes when you allow emotions to dictate your decision making, it can actually get you in really big trouble. And I think Kevin was smart to kind of leave the competitive aspect out of it and say, okay, this is not a 14er. This is not a box to check necessarily, it's just a 13er, kind of in an obscure place, and it's not the end of the world, if we don't get to the top, it's not a big deal. It was a gorgeous hike, a beautiful day, and got some dope photos and footage out of it, so.